Barnacle Bride by Heinrich, Lyle. The stage is dim. In the shadows, we can just make out the figure of a man sleeping on the floor beside a desk. He breathes heavily. There's a light knock on the door. And the sleeping figure shifts over onto his other side and continues to sleep. Another knock. A bit more insistent. The man suddenly sits up, reaches over and switches on the small lamp at the corner of the desk. We see now that this is Charlie's office, and he's been sleeping fully dressed, shirt and tie, in a sleeping bag.
Hello?
Charlie?
Yes?
It's Brad, buddy. Can I come in?
Bradley?
Yes, let me in. It's locked.
Just a minute.
You alone?
What are you doing here? What time is it?
It's 3:45 in the a.m., buddy. Can I bring the rest of me in? Angie said you were at the Motel 6.
That's what I told her, but I'm sleeping here until I figure some things out.
So why didn't you call me? My couch is your couch, buddy.
No thanks.
Don't be an asshole. What are friends for?
You've got the wife and kids.
Not too crazy about any of them, if I'm honest. Come, stay with us.
I'll be fine.
On the floor? You've got a bad back, buddy.
Everybody has a bad back. Who do you know over 40 doesn't have a bad back?
Are you trying to punish yourself or something?
How'd you know I was here?
Honestly, I have no idea. Just a feeling. Something compelled me to come. It's not like me, but here I am. Mind if I sit?
Go ahead.
Have you called her?
She doesn't want to hear from you.
How do you know? She's probably sitting by her phone waiting for you to call. Why is your floor all wet?
Is it?
Stinks too.
I don't even notice anymore.
What the hell's going on, buddy?
It's bad.
Okay, tell me.
It's really bad, Brad.
So tell me.
Charlie opens a drawer in his desk, takes out a bottle and 2 glasses, pours each of them a drink.
You better sit down. You remember Phyllis?
Phyllis, your late wife, Phyllis? Sure, of course I remember. Very sad time. I thought you didn't like talking about that whole thing.
She's back.
What do you mean, back?
She came back.
Who, Phyllis?
Yes.
Like, alive?
She showed up at the house the other night, right out of the blue. Angie's upstairs sleeping, and I'm watching TV in the living room, and suddenly I hear this thud, like somebody slapping a dead fish against the front door or something.
Buddy.
I get up, I go to the door, I open it, and it's her.
Buddy.
Soaking wet and covered with seaweed and eaten away somewhat, but it's her all right. I mean, there's no mistaking Phyllis.
Buddy.
So, I let her in.
There's no...
You think I don't know? Crazy, right? All these years later.
Phyllis is dead, buddy. She fell off the boat. They never found her.
That's just it. They never did find her, did they? The body.
There's no way she swam over 10 miles to shore in the middle of the night in freezing cold water. She drowned, buddy.
You're right about that. She confirmed it.
Come on.
And you were there, right? That night?
Yeah, I was there. Me and Betty.
I wasn't 100% sure at first. It's been a lot of years, but she reminded me. I didn't know you too well then. There were 6 or 7 of us, and I think you were probably the only one I didn't know.
Betty and Phyllis were friends. I'd only been with her for a couple of weeks.
That's right. How funny the things you remember. I mean, at first, I couldn't recall if you were even there. Now I not only remember you were, but that you were openly flirting with her. Phyllis. I mean, the whole day and night, too.
Bullshit, I was not.
But you were. I remember thinking, that son of a bitch has a lot of nerve. This is my party, my boat, and this asshole, who I barely know, is trying to make my wife.
Buddy, I never...
You're gonna want to stop calling me buddy.
What is this? Why are you bringing this up now?
Because, like I said, she's back.
That's not funny. I don't know what you're getting at, but it's not
They
funny.
pressed me hard, you know? The cops. Husband's always the first one they suspect, right? I figure a couple of newlyweds partying with their friends, drinking, probably had a fight at some point that got out of hand, and I hit her and tossed her overboard.
They never charged you. Nobody thought
Her
that.
parents did. They were convinced it was me. They started giving interviews with newspapers and local news. You remember?
Vaguely.
It was a hell of a time. I finally moved here to get away from it.
You made a good life for yourself.
I thought so. It took a long time, but I finally put it behind me. And Angie, we've been happy.
She's a good lady.
Yeah, she is. She put up with my shit for years, all my demons and everything, night terrors, drugs, booze, but she changed me, you know? I stopped drinking because of that woman. Well, I had 8 years sober anyway. Life was finally going along nicely, and I had no reason to believe it wouldn't continue along in that vein.
You're lucky.
But then you show up. Just like Phyllis, out of the blue. What was that, a month ago now? I hadn't seen you in 30 years, and suddenly you walk into my office.
We moved here and I heard you lived here too. That's all.
And then Phyllis. Man has to wonder if it's a coincidence.
Phyllis is dead. She's dead. Charlie, she's not showing up at your door, okay?
Alexa, play Ride to the Valkyries. Alexa. I couldn't resist. Little dramatic flourish. It's okay. You can come on.
Phyllis. Phyllis slowly rises up from under the desk. She's soaking wet, pale from death and the ocean's ravages, still covered in seaweed.
Alexa, stop. Imagine Angie's reaction when she walked into the living room and found Phyllis standing there in all her soggy glory.
Jesus Christ!
Exactly. Of course she freaks out. Who wouldn't? Kicks us both out. I had nowhere else to bring her.
Oh my God!
I know. Holy shit, right?
No way. This isn't real. That's not Phyllis.
Look at her, Brad. Look at her face. I mean, a little pale and fish-eaten, but it's her. Tell me it isn't.
Phyllis opens her mouth to speak, causing a flood of water and a tiny fish to pour out.
That happens sometimes. It's like she's clearing her throat or something.
It was you, Brad.
Isn't that cute? She called you Brad.
She's sick. Maybe water on the brain or hypothermia. I never touched her.
My new dress.
Yeah, she's been on about you ruining her dress, too. It's dry clean only.
Replace?
She wants you to replace it.
Whatever she needs. Anyhow.
And she wants you to admit what you did.
Admit, Brad.
Guess she needs closure.
I'm not admitting anything. She got a tough break. I feel bad for her.
Why'd you do it, Brad? Did she turn you down? Spurn your advances? Was it an ego thing?
I never touched her.
Phyllis picks up a paperweight off the desk and tosses it ungracefully at Brad.
Tell her to
Are you
stop.
kidding? I'm not telling her anything, buddy. For
Phyllis
years I tore
starts to
myself-
lumber sluggishly towards Brad.
For years I tore myself apart wondering whatever happened to her.
Keep her away from
But
me.
you moved on with your life, didn't you? Got married, had kids.
Phyllis continues to advance on Brad.
Stop. Listen, buddy. Truth is, it was an accident. A freak accident. She slipped. She fell.
You threw her overboard. That's what happened, isn't it?
No. Hell no. Okay, I did try to kiss her, and then she jumped back and lost her balance and went over. I tried to grab her.
He Whoa, me.
She seems to remember it differently. What can I say? I wasn't there. I was in my cabin waiting for her. But anyway, it's all he said, she said now, isn't it? It's not even my business anymore. I'm with Angie now. Whatever happens here is between the two of you. I have to respect that.
Buddy!
Phyllis now has Brad backed against the wall.
I'm just gonna switch off this lamp and give you crazy kids a chance to work this thing through in private.
No, listen. I've got to get going, Charlie. I've got to get going.
Charlie leans across the desk and switches off the lamp, plunging the stage into total darkness. We hear Brad's heavy, rapid breathing, and then a great, moist, gurgling slurp silences it. There's a short pause.
Hello? Guys, we all good? What should I'll just sit here a while, shall I? Let you finish up. Hello? Okay then. By the way, the office is closed tomorrow, so take your time.
Blackout.